Welcome to Rare Breed Brotherhood. The universe doesn't give you the people you want, it gives you the people you need. Life has a funny way of showing us who we truly are. For the Sigma Man, this journey isn't about fitting in or chasing approval. It's about moving through life with a quiet, undeniable strength that often goes unnoticed, until danger arrives. But here's the thing, you're not just surviving, you're being protected. In a world full of chaos, manipulation, and hidden agendas, there are certain men who seem untouched by the evil that surrounds them. The Sigma Man is one of those rare individuals who doesn't need to scream for attention or fight for survival. God places a shield around him, not out of luck, but because of his ability to discern, his deep connection to his inner self, and his refusal to let negativity seep in. People who seek to harm him find themselves tripping over their own mistakes. He doesn't need to seek revenge, because the universe has his back. This protection isn't about external shields. It's about the wisdom, intuition, and clarity he carries inside. His strength is built not on bravado, but on peace and purpose. If you've ever felt like you're walking a path that seems inexplicably smooth, even when others seem to be falling apart, chances are you're being guided and shielded in ways you can't always see. So take a moment, reflect, and watch the video. Discover the signs that prove God has placed a special protection around you and how you can embrace it. Number 1, he's given gut feelings that never lie. Have you ever walked into a room and just felt something was off? Not because someone said anything or did anything obvious, but because your gut told you that something didn't sit right. For the Sigma Man, this isn't just a random feeling, it's a sharp, inner knowing that hits him like a lightning bolt. When someone's energy is off, even in the smallest way, he picks up on it instantly. No words, no outward signs, just a deep, almost supernatural sense that warns him to be cautious. This isn't about being paranoid or overthinking. It's about having a finely tuned radar that tells him when things are not what they seem. It's not about needing evidence to confirm his suspicions. He doesn't need to see the proof in someone's actions or words, he just knows. The Sigma Man doesn't ignore these gut feelings, he trusts them. Why? Because time and time again, they've proven to be right. Think about it. How many times have you ignored that inner voice only for it to turn out that you were right all along? Maybe it was a friend who seemed a little too charming or a colleague who gave off a weird vibe. You couldn't explain it, but deep down, you knew something wasn't right. The Sigma Man has this intuition on another level. It's like a sixth sense that cuts through the noise and sees through the facades people put up. The beauty of this is that it acts as a protective shield. Instead of learning the hard way by getting burned, the Sigma Man listens to that quiet voice inside him, allowing it to steer him away from danger before it even arrives. It's not magic, it's just wisdom. A wisdom that can't be bought or faked. And it's this gut feeling that constantly keeps him one step ahead, protecting him from the harmful people and toxic situations that are always trying to pull him in. So, next time that feeling hits, trust it. It's a sign, a gift, that you're being guided and protected. Number 2, people who intend to harm him self-destruct. It's almost like watching a bad movie where the villain thinks they've got everything under control, but slowly they start tripping over their own lies, their own manipulation, and their own deceit. The Sigma Man doesn't need to lift a finger to make them fall. Their own actions do the job for him. And that's because when you're walking in integrity and truth, evil can only go so far before it implodes. Here's the thing. Liars and backstabbers have a short shelf life. They might think they're clever, weaving their webs of deceit, playing games, and trying to pull people into their toxic schemes. But in reality, they're digging their own graves. The Sigma Man doesn't even need to engage with them directly. Their own self-destructive tendencies, fueled by lies and manipulation, are like a time bomb waiting to go off. And when it does, it's never pretty. What makes this so fascinating is how effortless it is. The Sigma Man doesn't need to take revenge or expose them. They do all the work themselves. It's like they're constantly trying to keep their balance on a tightrope. But the slightest breeze, the truth, sends them plummeting to the ground. They can't maintain the facade forever. Eventually the cracks show, and they reveal their true nature. And when that happens, the Sigma man is long gone, unaffected and unfazed. While these toxic individuals are busy weaving their web, the Sigma man is focused on his own path, one built on authenticity, self-respect, and wisdom. He doesn't let their drama interfere with his life. They're left in the dust, fighting with themselves as the truth catches up with them. They self-destruct, and he remains unscathed, untouched, and stronger than ever. This is the real power of the Sigma man. His peace comes from within, and that alone is enough to expose and neutralize any evil that tries to come his way. No effort, no fight, just the inevitable collapse of those who live in deception. Number 3, he loses people without fighting it. It's easy to panic when people walk out of your life. We've all been there, right? The feeling of rejection, the heartbreak, the urge to chase after them, begging them to stay. But the Sigma man, he doesn't waste time fighting for people who are meant to leave. When someone walks away, he doesn't cling. He doesn't chase, plead, or wonder what he did wrong. He simply understands that not every person is meant to stay in his life. And that's his strength. You see, for the Sigma man, rejection is not a blow to his ego. It's a sign of something deeper. He knows without a doubt that sometimes losing people is the best thing that could happen to him. It's not about being heartless or indifferent. It's about trusting that the universe, or God, has a plan. And not everyone who crosses his path is meant to stay for the long haul. Sometimes their departure is divine protection in disguise. The truth is, not everyone who enters your life is there for your benefit. Some are just passing through, meant to teach you lessons or challenge you, but not necessarily stay for the journey. The Sigma man doesn't take it personally. He knows that clinging to someone who's not meant for him is like holding onto a sinking ship. No matter how hard you try, it's going down, and the more you struggle, the deeper you sink. So, instead of fighting to keep people who no longer fit his life, he lets them go with grace. This doesn't make him cold, it makes him wise. He understands that true peace and growth come from aligning with people who truly resonate with him, not forcing relationships to work that are no longer in alignment. And here's the most powerful part. When he lets go, he makes room for better, more aligned connections to enter. The Sigma man knows that losing people without fighting for them isn't a loss at all. It's a gift, an opportunity to grow, evolve, and continue his journey toward what's truly meant for him. Number 4, betrayals strengthen, not break, his spirit. Betrayal is one of the most painful experiences anyone can go through. It cuts deep, especially when it comes from someone you trusted. But for the Sigma man, betrayal isn't a wound that breaks him, it's a lesson that shapes him. While most people get crushed under the weight of betrayal, the Sigma man doesn't fall apart. Instead, he rises stronger, smarter, and more discerning. Here's the thing. When the world turns its back on him, he doesn't waste energy on resentment or self-pity. He doesn't allow the hurt to define him. Instead, he looks at the situation for what it is, a chance to learn, to grow, and to become even more attuned to the people and circumstances around him. Betrayals don't make him weaker, they make him sharper. Each betrayal is like a tool that hones his ability to see through deception, to recognize patterns of dishonesty, and to trust his instincts more than ever before. When someone betrays him, it's not just about the pain they caused. It's about the valuable insight he gains in the process. The Sigma man understands that pain is often a messenger, showing him things he might not have seen otherwise. He learns to spot the subtle signs of deceit, the small red flags that most people miss. It's like his heart gets stronger, and his ability to protect himself from future betrayals becomes almost second nature. The more betrayal he experiences, the more he's able to navigate life with a clear, unshakable sense of who to trust and who to avoid. In a way, betrayal becomes encrypted wisdom. It's a tough lesson, but one that leaves him more equipped for life's challenges. He understands that while the pain may be real, it's temporary, and what remains is a spirit that cannot be broken. His resilience grows, and with every betrayal, his discernment sharpens, making him more invincible, more untouchable. What tries to destroy him only makes him stronger. And that's the ultimate power of the Sigma Man. Number 5. Energy vampires find him boring. Have you ever encountered someone who just drains the life out of you? You know, the kind of person who thrives on stirring up drama, playing mind games, or constantly seeking attention? These are what we call energy vampires. People who latch onto your emotions and feed off your reactions. They're all about control, manipulation, and feeding their own insecurities by pulling others into their chaos. But for the Sigma Man, these emotional manipulators quickly realize they've met their match, and it's not what they expected. The Sigma Man doesn't fall for their games. He's not interested in the drama or the emotional highs and lows they try to create. When energy vampires try to latch onto him, they quickly find that there's nothing to feed on. Why? Because he doesn't allow himself to be controlled. He doesn't react in ways that give them the emotional highs they crave. Instead of feeding into their manipulation, he stays calm, composed, and detached. And that's the last thing they can handle. Imagine a person who thrives on attention, someone who is used to pulling people into their emotional turmoil. They want to provoke reactions, to make people feel guilty, anxious, or angry. But when they try to use these tactics on the Sigma Man, they're met with an impenetrable wall of indifference. He doesn't bite. He doesn't get rattled. And here's the kicker. This is incredibly boring to them. The energy vampire loses interest quickly because they can't feed off someone who refuses to play their game. For the Sigma Man, the secret is simple. He doesn't give power to people or situations that thrive on chaos. He doesn't allow emotional manipulators to dictate his mood or control his reactions. His energy stays grounded, unaffected by the noise around him. And in doing so, he becomes completely unappealing to those who are used to feeding off others' emotional drama. They quickly move on, seeking someone else they can manipulate. The Sigma Man's lack of emotional volatility is his superpower. While others get caught in the emotional tug-of-war, he stays neutral. And that neutrality makes him the one person they can't control. And for energy vampires, that's as good as being invisible. Number 6. He sees patterns others are blind to. Have you ever met someone who just gets it? The type who sees through the surface-level interactions, picks up on the smallest details, and seems to understand people's true intentions even before they speak. That's the Sigma Man. He has an uncanny ability to see patterns in behavior that others completely overlook. Where most people get caught up in the chaos of daily life, the Sigma Man is watching, learning, and noticing things that others are blind to. It's not that he's a mind reader or some mystical figure. He's just observant. He watches the way people react to stress, how they treat others when they think no one's looking, and how their words and actions often don't match. He can sense the hidden agendas, the unspoken tensions, and the toxic cycles that most people ignore or can't even see. It's like he has a sixth sense for understanding human nature. He notices when someone's behavior is driven by insecurity or manipulation, and he knows exactly what to do, or more often, what not to do. People fall into patterns all the time, and the Sigma Man knows this. He's seen the cycles play out in so many situations, someone being overly kind, only to later turn on you. The friend who always asks for favors but never returns the favor. The colleague who acts like your best friend, only to throw you under the bus when it benefits them. Most people don't catch on until it's too late. But the Sigma Man, he's 3 steps ahead, recognizing those toxic patterns early and avoiding the traps others fall into. This gift isn't about being paranoid or overly cautious. It's about being smart and protecting his peace. While others might get tangled in the drama or hurt by someone's hidden intentions, the Sigma Man is already out of the way, following his own path and staying free of the predictable messes others end up in. By seeing the patterns others can't, he's able to navigate life with a sense of clarity and control that most people only wish they had. And in a world where deception and manipulation are everywhere, that ability is nothing short of a superpower. Number 7. Divine delays redirect his path. Have you ever chased something with all your might, only for it to slip through your fingers at the last moment? At first, it feels like a punch to the gut. You thought it was the one thing you needed, the thing that would bring everything together. But then, after the dust settles, you realize that maybe it wasn't meant to be. For the Sigma Man, this isn't just coincidence. It's divine timing, a cosmic redirection that saves him from a future he might not be able to see yet. Imagine wanting something so badly, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a certain opportunity. You put your heart and soul into it, believing that it's the key to your happiness. But then, just when it seems like it's within reach, everything falls apart. Most people would get frustrated or defeated. They might even start doubting themselves, but the Sigma Man doesn't. He knows that sometimes the universe is protecting him in ways he doesn't yet understand. What feels like a setback is often a blessing in disguise. The Sigma Man trusts in divine delays. He understands that when something doesn't work out, it's because it could have caused him more harm than good in the long run. Maybe that job would have led to burnout, that relationship would have drained his energy, or that opportunity would have put him in a toxic environment. Whatever the reason, he doesn't chase after it once it slips away. Instead, he looks for the lesson, the wisdom that comes with the rejection, and stays open to what's meant for him. This divine delay doesn't break him. It redirects him to something better, something more aligned with his purpose. It's not about forcing things to happen. It's about letting things fall into place at the right time. The Sigma Man knows that what's meant for him will find its way to him, no matter the delay. And when it does, he'll be ready, wiser and stronger than he ever would have been had he forced things that weren't meant to be. Number 8, his enemies start fighting each other. Picture this. You're standing on the sidelines watching chaos unfold around you. There's supposed to be one clear enemy, one clear force trying to take you down. But here's the twist. Instead of that enemy facing you head-on, they start turning on each other. All their alliances and power struggles begin to implode. Their plans crumble, not because of anything you did, but because they're so wrapped up in their own conflicts that they destroy themselves. This is the hidden strength of the Sigma Man. While others get caught up in direct confrontations, focusing all their energy on defeating one clear adversary, the Sigma Man operates on a different level. He understands something that most people overlook. The best way to deal with enemies isn't to engage with them directly. Instead, it's to let their own flaws, insecurities, and selfishness lead them to self-destruct. And this is where his true power lies. When people try to harm him, the Sigma Man doesn't waste his time fighting back. He stays calm, focused, and moves with purpose. Meanwhile, his enemies, who think they're unified in their goal to bring him down, start getting in their own way. Greed, jealousy, ego, these things begin to eat away at their alliances. Their plans, once solid, start to fall apart as they struggle with their own demons. The Sigma Man doesn't even need to lift a finger. They're already ruining themselves. The beauty of this is that the Sigma Man remains untouched by it all. He doesn't have to participate in their chaos because their own weaknesses will be their downfall. It's like they're digging their own graves while they focus on trying to bury him. While they fight among themselves, the Sigma Man moves forward, untouched by their petty dramas and power plays. In the end, he's not just surviving. He's watching his enemies crumble under the weight of their own contradictions, while he continues to rise above the fray, free from their toxic influence. The Sigma Man doesn't need to defeat them. They defeat themselves. Number 9. Divine coincidences. Shield him. Have you ever had one of those moments where everything just seems to fall into place, and at the time, it feels like pure luck? The bus you missed, the random change in plans that ended up saving you hours, or that sudden decision to go in a different direction that led to a surprising encounter. For the Sigma Man, these coincidences are more than just chance. They're divine interventions, guiding him out of situations that could have been harmful or draining. It's almost like he has an invisible force working behind the scenes, orchestrating perfect timing when he needs it most. A sudden change in his schedule might feel annoying in the moment, but it turns out to be the thing that keeps him away from a chaotic meeting or a toxic person. Maybe he decides on a whim to take a different route, only to avoid a traffic jam or worse, a potential accident. These moments are not random to him. He's learned to recognize that they're the universe, or a higher power, subtly guiding him and shifting his path just when it's needed. What's fascinating about the Sigma Man is how effortlessly he moves through life with this awareness. He doesn't fight these changes or question them. When a plan falls through or something unexpectedly shifts, he doesn't get frustrated. Instead, he stays calm, trusting that these coincidences are in his favor. Where others might see inconvenience, he sees a hidden blessing, a shield that protects him from situations he can't yet see clearly. It's like the universe is always looking out for him, providing small nudges to keep him on the right track. These divine interventions might seem like coincidences to others, but to the Sigma Man, they're proof that he's being watched over and guided in ways he could never have planned for himself. In a world where everything feels unpredictable, the Sigma Man walks with a quiet confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, unseen hands are moving him towards safety and purpose. It's not luck, it's divine timing, and it's always working in his favor. Number 10. He's willing to lose everything earthly to keep his soul intact. Imagine standing at the edge of everything you've built, everything you've worked for, your career, relationships, possessions, status. Most people would hold on desperately, terrified of losing it all. But what if, instead of clinging to it, you were completely willing to let go? What if losing everything on this earth didn't scare you because the only thing you truly cared about was keeping your soul intact? This is the essence of the Sigma Man's ultimate strength. The Sigma Man isn't attached to the fleeting material things that most people chase after. He's not driven by fame, wealth, or validation from others. His true power comes from within, from the peace and strength he finds in his own soul. And this, in itself, is his greatest protection. When you're willing to lose everything, you no longer fear what others can take from you. Evil, manipulation, or control tactics lose all their power because they're based on the idea of controlling your desires, your attachments. If you don't fear losing your possessions, your reputation, or your status, then what's left for the darkness to hold over you? Nothing. The more you're willing to lose, the less power the world has over you. For the Sigma Man, this isn't about being reckless or detached from reality. It's about recognizing that true freedom comes from within. He doesn't let the fear of loss dictate his actions, and in doing so, he is untouchable. While others may crumble when they lose material things, the Sigma Man stands tall, unwavering. He understands that nothing on this earth can truly harm him as long as his spirit remains unbroken. This kind of mindset is the ultimate form of protection. When you stop fearing what the world can take from you, you become impervious to its attempts to control you. Evil loses its leverage because it has nothing to latch onto. And in this space of true freedom, the Sigma Man's soul stays pure, intact, and untouchable, no matter what the world throws his way. Number 11. Evil smiles trigger internal alarms. Ever walked into a room and immediately felt like something was off, even when everyone else seemed perfectly fine? It's like a strange pull in your gut, a sense that you can't shake, no matter how smooth or charming the people around you are. The Sigma Man knows this feeling well. It's an internal alarm, a red flag that most people ignore, but not him. He's learned to trust those subtle cues, the ones that go beyond words or actions. While others might be dazzled by a person's charm or charisma, the Sigma Man feels an unexplainable unease. Something about their smile, their handshake, or even the way they carry themselves doesn't sit right. He doesn't need hard evidence to prove it. It's instinct, that deep, internal knowing that tells him when someone is playing a game, hiding something, or wearing a mask. For most, it's easy to brush off these feelings. They're just being nice, people will say. You're overthinking it. But for the Sigma Man, he's learned that these little internal alarms are often right. The charm, the smiles, the compliments, they're all distractions designed to lull you into trust. And while others get caught up in the surface-level pleasantries, the Sigma Man looks deeper. He feels the energy behind the smile, and he listens to what isn't being said. This heightened awareness isn't paranoia, it's discernment. Over time, the Sigma Man has fine-tuned his ability to spot the wrong ones, the people who might be trying to manipulate or deceive. And because he listens to that inner voice, He avoids falling into traps that others walk straight into. He doesn't engage with the wrong people, not because he's suspicious, but because he trusts himself. In a world full of masks and facades, the Sigma man's ability to sense danger behind a smile is his superpower. It keeps him safe, grounded, and one step ahead of anyone who tries to play him. And that's why, when others are fooled, he's always in control. When you truly understand the signs of a Sigma man being protected by God from evil people, you realize it's not about the absence of challenges or conflicts. It's about how he rises above them. His strength doesn't come from avoiding the darkness, but from moving through it with a calm, unshakable presence. He's guided by a higher power, and that guidance shows in how he operates in the world. Unbothered by flattery or criticism, immune to toxic environments, and always one step ahead of those who might try to harm him. The beauty of the Sigma man lies in his deep understanding that he is not alone, even when he walks paths others fear to tread. His divine protection doesn't necessarily remove the obstacles. It gives him the wisdom, strength, and intuition to navigate them with grace. He doesn't need to fight against the world because his inner peace, loyalty to truth, and ability to evolve make him untouchable. So, if you resonate with these signs, know this. You're not here to simply survive, you're here to thrive. Embrace your unique power and trust that you, too, are divinely protected in ways you may not always see. The protection doesn't just lie in physical safety, but in the way your spirit grows stronger and more resilient each time you face adversity. If you've been feeling a pull towards understanding more about this protection, about how to tap into that inner strength, then dive deeper. Watch the video and learn more about the ways divine protection can manifest in your life. Because when you align yourself with this force, nothing, not even the evil in this world, can touch you. Thank you for watching. God bless you.